Minute 3.0. As I said, let's first introduce myself. My name is Ralph Roosmalen. I'm from the Netherlands. And this is a personal map. One of the practices of Minute 3.0 is my map. It's about you as a person and more than just work. One of the practices. I got three women in my life, important women. I got two daughters, one is Zoe, 15 and 13 years old. I got a girlfriend, she's from Bucharest, Romania. I was showing her this my map, she said no, you cannot know that I'm from 1981, so I just pressed it out. Her name is Raluca, she lives with me in the Netherlands nowadays. My values, fun. Things should be fun. Things should give me energy. If they don't give me fun, I won't do it. Transparency. I think you should be honest, open in things that you do. Professional. Say what you do what you say. Act as a professional. And fairness. Fairness is really important for you. If things are not fair, I can really be upset about things. I used to work. I used to be employed. I always worked for product development companies in IT. A small one for 1 year. Then I went to ISA for 4 years. Then to Planon. In 2004 we implemented Scrum over there. One of the first product development companies in the Netherlands. We also did distributed Scrum with teams in India. Very successful. Then I moved to RES. Became head of the R&D department. We had a team in the US. We had a team in Romania. So that's how I met my girlfriend. And 2.5 years ago I decided to start my own business. Agile Strides. I'm focusing on 4 areas. Working anywhere. That's really about distributed teams. Lean change management. That's really about change. How you can change organizations. And lean change and lean agile approach. I'm an agile coach. Very vague term, but helping software development teams, enterprises. And of course, Minute 3.0. I'm a facilitator, so I do workshops, help organizations. And I'm involved in the company behind Minute 3.0, Happy Valley One, as the content creator and also as the guardian of content and also as CEO. So that's me in short. This is one of the practices of Minute 3.0. Management 1.0. That was introduced in the 19th, 20th century. And it was quite successful. We had factories coming up, Industrial Revolution, and we had people who were not educated, they had to go to the factories, so we had to manage that. And Frederick Taylor, who was an engineer, thought about this and wrote some books about it. And he came up with the idea of, okay, if we separate command from execution, so we think and people just execute, then things can't go wrong. And that worked quite well in those factories on the assembly line. I mean, you give people more money, they will work harder. Fair enough. And if somebody's sick, you just hire another guy and just put them on the assembly line and problem solved. So that worked quite well. But work changed. And most of you are probably working in IT or something in marketing, and that's not an assembly line. So we had to change our management style. That's where 2.0 came in. And 2.0 is about, okay, you realize that people are important, but you're still applying things from the past. So you know that people are the most important asset, but still there's command and control. And for example, I had a manager calling me a year ago. He said, well, I want to have my teams, 30 people, to review them each other. I don't have to do that anymore. I said, that's great, Hans. I mean, that's very innovative and very a lot of courage from you. But he said, I want to have some kind of system in Excel that after reviews I can check if they did it correctly. I want to calculate it. I said, yeah, but that's too bad. I mean, that's 2.0. I mean, you want to have your team members review each other, give feedback to each other. I think that's a great way. That's how you should do. But in the end, you still want to control that they did it correctly. So that's 2.0. What's 3.0? That's more like a community, city. Think about Bucharest. If the city hall had to do everything alone, it would be a disaster. But everybody who lives in Bucharest is responsible to make it a great place. The people who live here, the shops, the clubs, the societies, everybody, not just the city hall. And that's 2.0. everybody's responsible to make a place great. Everybody's responsible for management, not just one person. And Pete Drucker wrote it in the book in the 60s, management is about human beings. And if you look at Management 2.0, you realize that management is a verb. It's work, it's doing something. And he doesn't talk about managers, he talks about management is critical, is essential. And I believe that. I mean, in the Agile community, you hear a lot of stories, people say now that management is evil, we don't need managers. I partly disagree with that. I mean, if you need managers, I don't know, but management you need, period. You need to manage things. It's the same with, so management is important. And if you start a small business, a small company, startup, you don't have managers. You all manage. And when the company grows, you will hire managers. If you got 10,000 people, you will have dedicated managers. That makes sense. It's the same as software testing. I believe that it's not just a tester who's responsible for the software quality. It's everybody in the team, also the developers, also the business engineer, also the product owner, whatever. But everybody is responsible for quality. So everybody is responsible for management. And everybody should be involved in it. And we can do things. Also as a team, you can manage things. You can manage. Not just, you don't have to be managed for that. So what's the role as a manager then if you don't have to manage things? Basically you can look at it as a garden. You as a manager, you need to nurture the garden. You need to nurture the system. You need to give it water. You need to protect it. You need to remove the weed from the garden. Cut the branches now and then. That's what you do as a manager. Because if you don't do it, it will become a jungle. It will become chaos. So management is necessary to keep the garden growing and to make it a great place. And some people hire a gardener for that. So management 1.0 is doing the wrong thing. It's looking at people as a machine, treating them like a machine, and just giving them more money to work harder. 2.0, that's about doing the right thing wrong. And sometimes people ask me, but how can I do Management 2.0? You can't do that. I mean, you can't do that on purpose. If you do it, you're just messing things up. And 3.0, the future of management, as we believe, and that's really about creating engagement, helping people to manage themselves, to create a system that manages itself. And that are the restarts. And sometimes people ask me, but also other facilitators, do you know companies who apply Management 3.0, who are Management 3.0 approved, whatever? And no. Because it's not like Scrum, a framework. I mean, if you do daily Scrum, sprint planning, the whole shebang, you could say, hey, we're doing Scrum, we're doing Agile. Can't even discuss that, but at least we do the framework. 3.0 is not a framework, it's ideas, it's a collection of games, tools, a mindset, a way of looking at the system. That's 3.0. And that makes it a bit vague for some people that really want to have something, okay, but how can I implement it? How can I check, we're doing it? You can't. There are 6 views, 6 branches that you as a management needs to take care of. And the first one is about energizing people. We're going to dive into that later. But that's about making people engaged, making people motivated. And you said it 2 years ago, we did a workshop about moving motivators. That's about how you can find out if people are motivated and how you can make them motivated. So it's about engagement, motivated, happiness of people. The second view is about empowering teams. If people are happy, that's okay, but how do you make sure that teams know what to do? How do you make sure that teams know where to go? Because you got self-organizing, even self-steering teams. You need to have a vision, because otherwise it will be, again, that jungle. They will go anywhere, except the way you want, except where you want them to go. It's about delegation. And probably some of you know delegation, part of this module. What can you delegate to teams? What can't you delegate to teams? The third view is about align constraints. That also has to do with vision, but also about culture. If you have the right culture in your company, the right values, you don't have to manage that much. People can find the wrong way. But if you don't get the right culture, look at Enron in the US, it can destroy a company. It's about goal setting, about objective key results. It's also about metrics. Metrics are not bad. It's just a matter how you implement them, how you use them. And that's what you should do as management in align constraints. Four, develop competence. Four, response management. How do you develop competence? How do you make sure people grow their knowledge? That they keep developing themselves? Because things are changing fast, technology is changing fast, frameworks are changing fast, and you need to make sure that people do develop themselves. Growth structure. How do you grow your company? How do you grow organization? Network versus hierarchy organizations. Are you going to implement distributed teams, co-located teams? Are you going to set up teams that support other teams, or only teams that can do everything? Multifunctional teams. Things you need to think about. And the last one is about improve everything. As a manager, you need to create an organization culture of experiments, of feeling safe to fail. That's what you should do. So now the 6 views. 3.0 is about managing the system. So we don't want to manage individual people anymore, because people can manage themselves. We want to create a system with constraints, with guidelines, where people can manage themselves, teams can manage themselves. And we believe, and managers don't like to hear this message, but better management with few managers. Because if teams can take up responsibility, you don't need that many managers anymore. And as a manager, you can maybe set up another team, or manage another team to make it more 3.0 like. But this is about manage 3.0. Who of you would go to work tomorrow if they wouldn't get any money anymore, salary? Who loves his work?
I do.
Yeah. So it's a combination of many things to make sure that you're engaged, that you go to work, that you're motivated. It's not just money, but also you like your job, but it's not just liking job, it's also, money is also important. So engagement, happy workers is important. That's what I also want to talk about you. This is a Gallup survey, and they do this survey every year. And every year the results are a bit the same. So 13-15% is actively engaged, and that's of course us. Then you got 63% that is from a bit engaged till, nah, I don't care. And you got 24%, so that's almost a quarter that's actively disengaged. That's really about maybe sabotaging. And this is pretty shocking. When I saw this for the first time, I thought, this can't be true for the Netherlands. So I looked up the report, looked into the details, and the Netherlands was even worse. And this is all industries, so it's not just IT, it's all industries. But overall, this is pretty shocking. The engagement, it's pretty low. Satisfaction, happiness, that's different. I mean, 27% is really happy. They're very satisfied at work. With just 40% satisfied. He's also not happy, and they're totally okay with it. But probably you could say there are a few people that are really happy, disengaged, happy, sabotaging stuff. So, yeah, what is the relation between those two things? Satisfaction, engagement. Engagement and happiness. Does engagement lead to happiness? Who thinks so? So if you're really engaged, you'll be happy at work. Who thinks that engagement leads to happiness? No? And of course, the other way around. If you're happy, they can be really engaged. Who believes the one? So, both. Any comments? Who believes engagement leads to happiness? Want to say something about it? Can you be engaged without being happy? Don't be shy.
I believe it.
You believe you can be engaged?
You can be engaged without.
That can
I
result
believe
in-
I am engaged, but I'm not.
Yeah.
In my kind of position.
you're really professional, so you really do your job, but you're not happy about it.
But I don't get the perks.
Yeah, true. So what is relationship? Oh, sorry. In this case, we say it doesn't matter because I think both is important. You should be engaged and you should be happy. It cannot be just one of them, then something's wrong. So if you look at happiness, it's more about individuals. If you look at engagement, we focus more on interaction. So engagement, one-on-ones, team building, peer coaching, also motivation, happiness, 12 steps, happiness, index, law, etc. We're going to focus on happiness now, and engagement maybe the next time. So, another puzzle. Does success lead to happiness? Who believes success leads to happiness?
Sure. Of course.
Yeah. So when you're really success, you can be really happy. If you got a lot of money, then you're happy.
No, not exactly.
But money doesn't mean success.
That's also true.
Depends what success means.
Yeah, that's true. Doesn't mean the money. The other way around, if you're happy, then you will lead to success. Who believes that? We had the book a few years ago, it was I think 5 years ago, the book The Secret or something like that, of the Golden Key, that really describes if you really believe in things, it will happen in the end. If you want to be a millionaire and you really keep believing it every day, you will be a millionaire in the end. So that was a bit like, hey, if you are happy, it will lead to success. So yeah, probably, I mean, if you're going to look into it, you find quotes for both. In the book of The Happiness Advantage, Sean Anker says that we know that happiness is a precursor to success, not result. So happiness leads to success. And in this book, the Halo Effect, employee satisfaction and leads to high performance, probably that reverse is better, stronger. So yeah. Complex, complicated. Then another thing about happiness. Happiness is a mindset, it's not just a result. I mean, we all want to be happy, but there will never be a day that we can say, okay, and now we're done. It's done for the rest of our life. We're happy. We don't have to do anything more. No, it's a mindset. It's really about realizing that you should enjoy small things, the birds, the sun, etc. And that happiness is a path. It's not a destination. It's not at one moment you're done and period. But that's also making it complicated. And there's something else with happiness. We all know that money doesn't make happy. There is a connection with it. We also believe that money doesn't make us happy, but it is convenient. So there is something with happiness and money. It's a complex. It's a chicken and egg problem. A lot of different theories but I think everybody will agree with this one in the end. That happy workers do more and achieve more. I mean, that's I think a fact. Yeah. If you're happy, then work will be more fun and you will do more. But sometimes organizations ask me, okay, but Management 2.0, why should we do those practices? One of the reasons it is because in the end your workers will achieve more stuff. And that's also in the end what the business is for. So, 12 steps to happiness. And I know people who always say, yeah, we can't do anything about those things. Management should do it. And I disagree with that. Let's take a look at all those 12 steps. The first one is thank you. Thanking somebody, that will make you feel happy. It makes you feel happy. It's not just, it's a fact, it's proven. And also getting thank you from somebody else makes you feel good. A simple thing that makes you feel, that can make you feel happy. And you can implement that yourself. I don't know who of you knows the Kudo cards from Management 2.0. But these are just simple cards with some text, congratulations, thank you, awesome job. You can write it, you can give it to somebody else, you can put them on a wall, collect them, maybe celebrate a small five when the wall is full. But these are simple things that you can do as a team. And it doesn't have to be those good cards. You can also just give people just a thank you, compliment. Things that you can do as a team member. No manager needed for this. The second one is giving. A good card, giving a good card is fun. It makes you feel good. Also have discussions with people who say, I want to create some kind of software system with an app and a website that you can give good cards electronically. I think it loses its power. Because if I give you a good card manually, like this, it gives more. It's more valuable. So a system doesn't work. But you can also give just small presents. I've been a lot in Romania, and I know that especially in spring, at the subway station always got those small flowers that you can buy. You can give them to colleagues. You can give them to somebody who you appreciate, a small gift. You can give somebody a candy bar on the vending machine. It will make you feel good, it will make them feel good. Something you can do without management. Helping. Helping each other makes you feel good. When somebody's in need and you can help them, makes you feel good, makes the other feel good. How can you do that in an office, in a team? Bad programming. Helping each other, be open, ask people if they need help. I mean, if you hear somebody a bit cursing or whatever, or seeing behind his laptop and he looks difficult, can I help? Can I offer help? It will make you feel good. It will make feel him good. Eat well. A lot of offices have vending machines with a lot of candy bars and sugar bombs in it. Yeah, that's not eat well. Eat well, we talk about fruit. And in the Netherlands, every office nowadays has a fruit basket. But you can also take your own fruit to the office. If everybody takes a few apples or pears or bananas, you got your own fruit basket that you can eat instead of the vending machine. It makes you feel better, makes you feel happier. Something that you can do without management. Exercise. Maybe some of you have a fitness card or a discount on a fitness school, but you don't use it because you have to go there and have the feeling. So what can you do yourself? Because when I go to the fitness school, it does feel good. A ping pong table, table tennis, soccer table. You can also set up a contest with your team. Instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. At least once a day, even if it's the 5th floor. To make it feel better. But small things that you can do. You even have teams nowadays who do, what we call it in English, planking. And stand up. There's not stand up anymore, then it's lying down, but be creative. I mean, you can do a lot of exercise yourself. Rest well, sleep well. As an organization, you can give people an extra day to compensate when they travel to a different time zone, maybe. This is a company in the Netherlands. They got this in their office to do meetings, and if you turn around them, they got a nap room. You can also give your team fitness trackers that can keep track of your sleep patterns. Because if you know how much you sleep or how less you sleep, it will maybe give you insights and make you aware of it. I know a company in the US, I don't know the name, I'm still looking for it, who gave their employees fitness trackers to keep track of the sleep patterns, and then the company analyzed the data. And that's then again a 2.0 pattern management style, of course. The intention is good, but you're not going to do that. Experience. We all like to experience, to try out new stuff. That's how we learn. That's what we did in kindergarten, primary school. Just try out things. That's also probably how you sometimes develop stuff. Just try out things. See what happens. You can organize your exploration days in the team. You can maybe in the evening stay 1 hour later together and try some new frameworks. As I said, exploration days instead of a hackathon day. Where a hackathon is really focused on delivering something. Exploration day is really about learning, trying out new stuff. And the team member that learns most, that you can explain, he wins. Because if you're going to try out a new framework and you fail, I think you learn more than somebody's using an existing framework, develop something quickly and then say, hey, I did a new app. Yeah, okay, but what did you learn? Probably nothing. Hike. When I get a meeting and it's possible, I'll go outside with somebody. Why stay in the office? Why not walk to the next Starbucks? Shouldn't say it should go this far. But you can go for a walk and talk with your colleagues when the weather's good. Or walk to the smoke area, go out. Smoking is not very healthy, but still. I mean, walk and talk, go out, walk around the office instead of staying in the office. It will make you feel better. Exercising is hiking. Meditate. Will make you feel better. Mindfulness, with just taking 2 minutes to do nothing. You got those websites, I think it's even called 2 minutes. And if you go to the website and you touch your mouse, it says, hey, you touch your mouse. And just try not to touch your mouse keyboard and just watch the screen, count down to 2 minutes and do nothing. You can also try to set up a small office or an empty corner office. Just some nice blankets where people can meditate, that they can sit, relax. I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy, but something that you can do yourself, I think. Socialize. Will make you feel happier. Because we're not people, we're not intended to be alone. We want to socialize with people, some more, some less, but in the end we want to work together with people, talk to people. So go out to a pub, go out to the movies, bring some beers, do things together, order pizza, have lunch together maybe. If possible, create lunch, make lunch together. Goal. If you ask people why they're organization, some of them really say that in the end it's, yeah, why are we here? What do we contribute to? So if people have a clear goal, what they are contributing to, where to go, what the goal of the project is, the vision is, it will make them feel happier. And that's something that you can do yourself. You can ask management, okay, what's the goal? You got to think about it. Why are we as a team here? What's our strength of the team? And get that vision, the goal, where you want to go. And the last one is smile. Even if you're not happy and you smile, you will feel happy in the end. It's proven. It's just things that are created in your body. So do fun things. Buy those, how they called, those guns with those plastic rifles. Some people really don't like, but it's fun. And just smile. I mean, just be happy. And this is a cousin of mine, but when I see this picture, always, geez, it makes me feel happy. Just smile. But these are 12 steps of happiness. And a lot of things we always say, yeah, we need management, and management doesn't believe in it. And I think a lot of these things you can do as a team. You can buy your own fruit. You can set up your own exercise. Keep track of people, how often people walk the stairs instead of taking the elevator. You can give them a beer and socialize. You can ask management for a goal. Why are we here? What's the goal of this project? You can set up some with good cards. It's not that difficult, but you just need to do it. You can smile, even if you're angry, upset, or grumpy. Just smile. So a lot of things you can do. Then another thing is about measuring happiness. How do you measure happiness? Because it's a bit vague. I mean, if you come in the office and you're soaking wet because it rained and traffic jams in the city, you won't be happy. So it's a bit subjective, but still, you can measure happiness. And the most simple way is just things like this. Nico Nico calendar from Japan. Just put dots, marks, smileys, whatever, how happy you are. And of course you should have a team that people feel safe to do this. Because if they know, if they're not happy, that they will be punished for whatever reason, it's also by creating a safe environment. And Susan, she started pretty happy, but not going that well. Maybe she needs some help, some support, maybe something's going wrong. Can be at work, can be at home, but happiness door. That's not practice manager 2.0. You can use this after meetings, after events. Just how happy are you? And you can directly also write feedback on the sticky notes. Just measure happiness quickly. And nowadays you got a lot of tools, websites that can send out surveys to measure happiness. So manager 2.0 is about managing the system, not the people. It's about providing all those activities to your team so that they can make themselves happy. Because I cannot make people happy as a manager. Nobody can. But you can create an environment where people feel themselves happy. And it's about better management of few managers. Because a lot of those things you can do on your own. You don't need the manager to do that. You can buy your own fruit. You don't need to ask permission, I hope, for your manager to take fruit to the office. But take the fruit with it instead of the candy bars. So this was my talk about 3.0 and about happiness. Any questions? I don't know if it's common to share the presentation, slide deck. I can do that, no problem.
Yeah.
So you will get a copy of that.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So sometimes people feel a bit closed, you know, like socially.
Yeah.
They don't want to open up because they feel like this is not my place. I'm just here to do my job. I mean, why would I open up to these people, even though they've been working together for the past 3 years? This is kind of a major impact against their happiness, and I've been seeing this in my own team.
Yeah. My statement always is that, and that sounds maybe a bit weird, but I'm not at work to make friends. That's not the reason that I come to work.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And if it happens, I'm happy. I mean, I don't mind. But that's the reason it is. So, if there are some people in your team that are really like that and they don't care about it, I mean, you cannot force them. You cannot enforce them to open up.
Yeah, I understand. The process here
So-
is to create an environment that
Yeah, but-
maybe they feel.
And some people won't participate. Some people just don't care. Is that bad? I don't think so, no. The other thing maybe then is, and we didn't talk about that, but if you look at Man 3.0, another very popular practice is moving motivators. And that's really about what motivates you. And in those motivators, one of the motivators is relatedness. And for some people that's really important. I expect for people like this, who are really closed up, relatedness, totally not interesting. Status, not interesting. Maybe focus on mastery, curiosity, order maybe, that are things that they really care about. Just doing the job. So, what to do with that? You can just always try keeping inviting them, but if they don't want to join, don't join. But I think you should never just at one moment say, okay, then we just don't care about it anymore. You just ignore him. Because I think he will feel that, or she. But it's, yeah, it's working with people, and working with people is the most difficult thing there is. And the most fun thing there is. But that goes hand in hand here. Yeah. Okay. Other questions? Yes?
What was the greatest obstacle when you helped the team move from management 2.0 to management 3.0? The greatest hurdle that was supposed to be overcome?
Greatest hurdle. I think the greatest hurdle, it always is fun. That they need to take up responsibility. They need to step forward. Because in the past, a long time ago, and I started my career as Scrum Master in 2004, I did a retrospective and said what went well, what went wrong. Okay, this went wrong. Okay, what belongs to the organization and what belongs to the team? And guess what? If there were 10 sticky notes, what was wrong? 9 of them were part caused by the organization and 1 was part caused by the team. So people always point out to management. Management is evil, management doesn't help. I think that is the biggest hurdle always. No, what can you do? You need to take responsibility. You can't just say management is bad. You can do things yourself. And I think getting teams in that mode. And it can be a lot of reasons that they think like that, because maybe in the past management really punished them when they stepped out of the field. So many good reasons why they behave like that. But to get that mindset turned around, that they do take up responsibility, that they do take up tasks, go out of the comfort zone, that's the biggest challenge. Because in the end, I mean, they want to create software, they want to do marketing, sales, whatever, that's what they like. But getting them out of that comfort zone and act as a real professional, that's the biggest challenge.
Thank you.
Is this process of making the environment good, it will stop on this, or you always need to improve the environment? Because, you know, if the needs are fulfilled, usually others need to be. Did you monitor them?
I mean, it's never done. I mean, the organization is never ready, so I think you always keep experimenting. And things that work today probably will lose their value in 6-7 months. For example, if you start using color cards, I mean, I can imagine some organizations, some teams I've seen after a year, nobody's using them anymore. They've lost their power.
Yeah.
So you need to come up with something new.
Always.
Yeah. And the idea is that you're not going to then step in and tell people, hey, you need to write a pull card. No, you create something new, and that can be, I don't know, the candy bar of the week, that people can give a candy bar. I know a company in the Netherlands who can print custom candy bar wraps, so maybe something like that. But you need to come up with a new experiment. And Manage 2.0, and I believe that you should always experiment stuff, always try new experiments. And maybe the other way around, if you try to put a cast today in the team and it doesn't work, try it again in half a year. Because people have changed, environment has changed, maybe it will work in half a year. So you need to keep experimenting, you need to change things because things will lose its value, and yeah, then you need to come up with something new. And that's also the fun thing, but that also makes it difficult. Other questions?
I just wanted to ask you about, you said that success and happiness, and you believe that successful people are happy. But there are a lot of people and researchers that say that when achieving something, achieving a goal or obtaining success, actually people feel in the same moment that they have to obtain something else, and the moment of happiness is so brief, or even if it is at all.
I agree, and that's what I said about happiness. It's a mindset, it's a path. Because I agree with you, I mean, I've been a developer in the beginning of my career, and when I solved the bug after a day or 2 days, it was really, great. I mean, it really made me feel like Superman. But that moment is there for 15-20 minutes, and then I need to do the documentation, I need to fix it, and then that sucks. So I think indeed, if you work on a project and a goal, at the moment you reach it, it's hallelujah, it's great, and then you need to find your new goal, because happiness, it's a path. You're never there, you're never done. So I agree with you, and also on the research side. But I do believe that if you're happy, you will achieve more. If I need to fix that bug, I needed to fix that bug, and I was happy, I turned on the radio, and I knew I could fly. And if I had a bad day, arguments with my ex-partner in those days, then it wouldn't work. So that I do believe. Yeah.
What you was just talking about is like setting up goals for yourself. Should a manager set up the goals for you?
No.
Or coach you in that direction? How? I mean, he thinks that you need some goals. Maybe you don't take the goals by yourself. How can?
I believe that management should set the goals of the department or the company. So you should have that vision, okay, where are we going? And then if I would be your manager, I would ask you, okay, how can you contribute? What would you like to do to contribute to those goals? Maybe then you'll give me an answer that I think, oh, gee, I didn't think about that. And I don't believe that you as a manager should set individual goals. But you should create a system, and that can be done with objective key results, for example, with also other models. That you can set a goal, and you ask people, how are you going to contribute? Or I believe that you should ask a team, because as an organization, I think the smallest entity is a team. I mean, as an individual, you can write a book, you can create a song, but you cannot create software alone. I don't believe that. Yeah, you can, but then it's just small. But most of us will work in bigger projects, and they have to work together. So management sets the vision, the goal, the long term, and you ask the teams, okay, how are you going to contribute to this? What will be your contribution? And of course, as a manager, you can tell us, if you say, okay, I'm going to make 2 steps in the next week, I could say, but can't you make 4 steps? What do you need to make 4 steps? I mean, it's okay to challenge you. But not to say to you, you're going to make 5 steps. You decide the steps you're going to make. How many steps? But I will challenge you to make as much as possible to get you out of your comfort zone.
And if the manager is following that, let's say, okay, we meet again in 2 weeks to see where you are when you are ready to go. Is it okay, or is it like controlling?
For me, I believe in setting goals that are ambitious. And if we agree together that we set 6 steps, and you make 4 steps, and I know that you really contributed, you really made an effort, then I'm okay with it.
That doesn't give me a signal that I'm watched or controlled by the manager.
No, because you're going to report yourself on how many steps you made. I'm not going to ask you how many steps. I'm going to ask you, but I'm not going to keep track of the steps that you make every week.
It's just a free talk.
Yeah.
Something like
I'm not going to check the lines of code or whatever, or the sales deals that you close.
There are a lot of companies that are actually tracking
Yeah.
their progress
I know.
with a goal.
Yeah.
And usually because of these people are setting goals like I will come to work every day.
Yeah.
Something. It's easy to be tracked.
And they are paid to sit 40 hours on that office chair. Yeah.
So what
We can continue the discussion during the open space because it's taking much too long. So thank you.
Yeah, okay, you're welcome.
And